Since the recent death of religion, people are searching and searching for instruction, guidance, wisdom on how to live properly, on how to live good, on what the nature is of this reality and what the nature is of what we call the self. These questions are arising because we have lost religion, something we have relied upon for many centuries, something that has helped us forge the very foundations of the civilization we now find ourselves beneficiaries of. We have to give credit to our ancestors and to the work they put in to build the society we now live in. Every society, every civilization has its flaws, it has its problems, it has its weak points, and when you focus only on them, you get a negative overall picture of the situation. But there are so many good things as well. Like, for example, 100 years ago, people didn't know what hot showers was, and now most of us have a hot shower on a pretty regular basis, at least I'd hope. Most of us have access to a luxury that nobody had access to prior to 100 years ago, which is, if you think about it, not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. But how do we replace religion? What do we do? We're seeing a rise of religion once again in people who are kind of young people who have maybe been nihilistic, have maybe been caught up in an existential crisis, and people that ask questions that I think are at the heart of all of us. Like, who are we? Like, how do we live well? Like, what is the world? Like, how should we treat other people? Perennial issues that we as a species have been grappling with ever since we developed self consciousness, ever since we developed an understanding, a broader understanding than the other animals. It's inevitable we will have these questions, but now we have no answers. We used to find our answers in the Bible, find our answers in the Quran, find our answers in the Upanishads or the Bhagavad Gita or scripture or religious texts. But now that's gone. And I think a worthy contender for this very prestigious spot that must be filled, it must be replaced. Otherwise, like Nietzsche said, we're just going to drown in nihilism. What we need to replace it with is philosophy. Philosophy deals with issues like, how do we live well? Like, what am I? Like, what is the world? And this is why I think philosophy should be a mandatory study at school. Ever since you start secondary school, you should learn some form of philosophy. It should be like a core subject, because I think now more than ever, because we are lacking the guidance from religion, we need guidance from somewhere. We need guidance. So much of us want that. We want to know how to live our lives properly, how to live well. And those answers can be found in philosophy. For me, philosophy changed my life. It absolutely did. I was a nihilist, I was an atheist. I didn't pay any attention to matters of religious importance or matters of philosophy. But as I became more self conscious, as I started thinking more about my life, I wanted to know how to live better. I wanted to know how to improve myself. I wanted to know the way the world worked and how can I act properly in the world. Questions that I think all of us ask, and I found those answers in philosophy. Don't get me wrong, I do a bit of religious study as well, because I think religion is there for a reason, and I think it contains within it so much accumulated wisdom that is better to be used rather than to just be completely discarded. Obviously, there are flaws, there are things we don't agree with now, there are things that we could change, but within these things, there is something valuable. And when you can accept that, then you can start to search for them. But for me, in philosophy, it was Stoicism that changed my life. It was Stoicism that got me on the path of self improvement, of self reflection, of trying to be a better individual and trying to treat other people better and trying to have more control of myself and more discipline and more mental resolve. You name it. this philosophy provided me with it. And that's why I think philosophy is arguably the greatest replacement for religion that we can find. Because you don't need to necessarily believe in a god or believe in religious concepts to apply a philosophy in your life. And I think people need a philosophy. They need a reason behind what they do. Because man can bear anything but a meaningless life. And he who has a why can bear almost any how. And philosophy helps us to find that why, to find the why that resonates with us. It doesn't have to be an objective why. It doesn't have to be like in religion, how they suggest an objective and immovable reality. What it can just be is the way you choose to respond to the world, the way you choose to live, the way you choose to carry yourself and treat other people. And you can choose based on what philosophy resonates with you, because there are certain values, certain principles that will already resonate within you, because your culture, whether you know it or not, has shaped you in subtle ways. And as I've said, the bedrock of our culture is Christianity in large part. So you'll find that like the Ten Commandments or a lot of religious principles, specifically Christian principles, resonate with your heart because these values are deeply embedded within you, which hints at some semblance of an objective and universal morality. But the relative comes into it through philosophy. Philosophy is how we build our understanding of the world so that we can pick and choose kind of what fits in with this way of life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with someone you think it might help. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.